Today I'm gonna show you how to design this kind of LED letters that all of the body of the text lights up. Outside is printed in this translucent uh, gradient PETG that I use from this company. I love it, but there is a lot of options available online. And yeah, for the diffusion, I use white PLA this time, so the LEDs doesn't show up through through the body of PETG, but the white PLA in this case diffuses all the LED light, creating this nice diffused light instead of LED hotspots. So yeah, let's get into designing. So first I start with creating the text file in Inkscape. So create the text. Now go to text and fonts, find the right font, like a font. Find the right font, and apply the edge, a stroke, make that white. Do object, no, do path, object to path, and object, ungroup. Okay, can adjust the gaps. Something like that. I'm happy with that. I can save it as. Okay, that should save it as SVG. And we can move on to Fusion. In the Fusion, I start with a new sketch. We'll size it up as big as we want to. I want it 15 centimeters tall. So I create a box for that. So I can size it up the SVG file when I import it. Can finish this sketch, start the new one, and then insert the SVG file that we created in Inkscape. That's our file. Now I can scale it up to fit in the box created in the first sketch. That looks good enough. Now we can switch off the visibility for the first sketch. Now it's all green. Let's highlight it all, and to unfix that, let me actually draw a flat bottom line and fix this a little bit. Something like that. Maybe that like that. And what I like to do is fix all the sharp corners, because I don't like how they eat into the inside of the letters like that, especially when they're facing inwards inside the letter. I usually delete them out, edit them out, make it more nice and straight here. Same as here. Do that. Make it more straight like that. Yeah, that looks good. Can start extruding the file, the letters. Extrude that 40. New body. Enable the visibility for the second sketch. And then we can extrude the second letter. Yeah, looks good. See what I did? I extrude only everything above the line I created here at the bottom to make the bottom of the sign flat so it sits nicely on flat surface. Do that 40 as well. Created this new body. Okay. And can extrude the last letter. 40 as well. New body. And we have created our 3 letters. And we name them. And now use the shell command to shell them out to 1 millimeter shells. And that's going to be the colorful outside of the letters. Okie dokie. You can switch off visibility for second sketch. Now it's all about offsets. So for the front plate to slide inside of the shells that we just created, the colorful part, um, need to create offset between the front plate and the shell of the letters. I do that by starting a sketch inside the letters. We can project all 3 of them. We can disable the body visibility so we have only the outlines left. And I'll do negative 0.3 inside of the projected sketch and do the same for all the letters. Just like that. And then we can extrude from the inside of the offsets. That's going to be our front plate. 39. I can toggle the visibility for bodies. And there, that's flush with that. Because the back of the shells are 1 millimeter already. That's why we need to make it 1 millimeter shorter. And then it's going to be exactly the same height as the shells. Okay. We create new bodies. And then disable visibility for the shells. And we can shell these fronts from the backside to make them 1 millimeter. Okay. Now can do section analysis. to see that we have our front plates here and the shells, and there is 0.3 millimeter gap between them. Now, what I like to do to make it more secure, the fitting inside, to create another wall behind the front plate on the inside of the shell. That's about 3 millimeters high. That's enough. But with another 0.3 millimeter offset between the wall here, we have to create another offset. So we have some clearance there. So we can untoggle these, switch off the analysis. We can go back to the offset sketch and create more offsets. You can offset from this one. That's our front plate here. And from that, we need to make another offset. That's going to be our gap between the inner wall, 0.3 millimeters, and do another millimeter negative. And this we're going to extrude by 3 millimeters. That is going to create the inner wall, another little bit of support between the front plate here and the outside shell. So it fits snugly inside, easy to glue inside here. Just apply a little glue to secure everything in place when it's all finished printing. So yeah, and repeat the same step for all the letters. Offset, offset, offset. So there is two offsets between outside the wall, front plate, and offset between inner wall and front plate as well. Now I have created all of the short inner walls. Now we have to create holes between the letters. We have to enable visibility even for the front plates. Okay, what I like to do section analysis. Move it a bit down. Let's do 2 millimeters. Toggle the visibility. So the front plate and the shell is visible now. We have to create the holes between the letters. To pass through the wires. Perfect. And let's do one here. Oh, that's great. Can switch off analysis. And the shells. So these are our front plates. One thing about front plates, the holes has to go all the way through the bottoms. So because it's gonna go down, and if there's wires going through, it has to go all the way down and let the wires pass through like that. So yeah, we have to make sure there is hole all the way down to the edge here. What I do is create sketch on top of this edge here, create a new sketch. Then we can project all these edges, and then go ahead and project the holes as well. Like so. And then it creates the little dots here where the holes are projected. And then you can just sketch in the lines between the holes so we can extrude them downwards. That's sketched, and now we can extrude these parts and extrude them down to cut, like so. And it creates the slits now, so they can slide all the way down, even when the wires are going through the holes for the shells. And that's it. We create another hole at the back, 4 wires pass through. So yeah, save the files, print, and you're all sorted. I hope it helped you. Yeah, it's nothing too hard. It's all about offsets and yeah, creating enough clearance for the parts to slide together. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. Press the like, and I see you in the next video.